Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Banyan Wenzel, and this is my take on the Hot Ones interviews from the Hate YouTube channel First We Feast, which has over 15 million subscribers. I am here today with my close friends Ryan and Ricardo, who are fellow UCI students and first-generation Americans. For those who do not know how the Hot Ones interviews work, basically I'm going to be asking the boys here a question. They're going to be taking a bite of the chicken, ranging all the way from mild to Reaper, with Reaper being 2 million Scoville units. Just to put that into perspective, a jalapeno pepper is 8,000 Scoville units. So the mild question is, where are your parents from and why did they decide to come to America? So after you guys take a bite. Ryan, where are your parents from and why did they decide to come to America?
Alright. I don't know. So my parents, they're both from, sorry.
No way. Is it very spicy?
No, I just this one.
I'm just a little thirsty.
They're both from El Salvador, a little country in Central America. All that. And I mean, they came here when they were about like my age, so it kind of makes me feel like a disappointment because like my dad came here, he left his family to escape a civil war that was going on over there. Mm-hmm. So they were hunting him down. And he just got on, it's called a coyote, people that, you know, transfer the immigrants. Mm-hmm. He took a coyote, came to the States, and he mostly did it for a better life for him, but also he didn't want his children in the future living in such like a harsh environment, because in El Salvador there was so many gang violence and like a bunch of things going on. And as for my mom, she came over here when she was a little bit older. She just came here because, again, like she wanted to raise a family in like a safer area and have a safer opportunity. So yeah, that's fine.
My turn? Both my parents are from Guadalajara, Mexico, so just Mexico. So my dad came here first, and I think he was either 19 or early 20s. But one day, my grandpa, his dad, he just, around the age of like 50, he just suffered like a massive heart attack. According to the autopsy, his heart just essentially exploded. And then, he came to the United States to start working and support his family back in Mexico. You know, my uncles and brothers, they were all underage. He had sisters, he had his mom, and they all needed a pillar of support. So my dad came to the U.S. First legally, and a few times, you know, with the coyote. And it's just started working, and then, you know, really, my mom ended up coming later with him to, you know, once he started getting a citizenship, she could have her residency, right?
I know Ryan kind of touched on this, but is it weird to think that your parents are like the same age as you guys are right now when they made such a huge drastic change to their like lifestyle?
Yeah.
You guys ever think about
I feel so immature compared to like what they were.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like my dad started working when he was like 14. And like it makes you feel like pressured in a way, because like every time I talk to my parents and I'm saying like, man, this is hard, like they just stare at me with like the most blank face.
That's hard.
And they're like, ¿cómo? And then they're just like, they just give me the whole life story about what they were doing when they were my age, and I'm just like, okay. So that's kind of like my motivation, is like I don't want to get yelled at again, so like I kind of just, you know. So that's kind of my resolution.
Heating up. All right. My next question was My next question was, did your parents sacrifice for a better opportunity for you, motivate you to push yourself not only in school, as you guys are in a great institution as well as your siblings, but Ryan, I know you're a boxer, but in boxing as well, did those sacrifices really push you, give you that extra motivation that you needed at some times? We got milk and ice cream bars for them, courtesy of Brady Wine. Who wants to start first? Come on. Did the sacrifice for better opportunity make you want to work harder in school?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I feel like it's kind of you know, a lot of people complain about it too, but I see it more as something valuable where you have a debt to them. You have to, in a way, like, their sacrifices are the reason you're here. And without them doing all that, my dad coming from Mexico, barely like.
Are you tearing up?
No, not yet. Look at my kid. You know, he's still a young he's still pretty young coming to the U.S., working, and then, you know, ultimately later on making his own landscaping business and everything. That's just a ton of sacrifice that he put forward on the table for us, and now we get to capitalize on that. You know, without him, I wouldn't be here. It's kind of just the way everybody has to see it.
Exactly. And Ryan?
So yeah, it's kind of like that motivation's always there because if you like think about it, like when I was like laying in bed, like just not wanting to get up until 2 p.m., I'm thinking about the days that like I was like 7 and my dad would just bang on my door and tell me to like wake up and like be productive. So it's kind of like before you get like so like damn, like why is he always like on me, like you know what I'm saying? So like it's kind of that motivation that like his age they were probably like carrying the boats and the logs, like they were literally like doing all of this, and like if you think about it, you're like, damn, he really like sacrificed his life just to come here, and I'm over here sleeping until
I know you're 9.
He tells me how hard, how it's going. I tell him it's fine, and I'm just waking up at 3 p.m. No, but it's just
We're now moving on to the extra hot level. This question is going to be: America was originally founded by immigrants. And the economy for, you know, the last several years and the whole time America has been existed has been run by immigrants. But it seems like every day immigrants are getting more and more discriminated against. What do you guys feel about that so far? And please feel free to take a bite.
The judgment from this one, it's kind of
Another one. All right, so how do you guys feel about the discrimination, especially with like the ICE raids and all of those kind of things?
yeah. So I feel like it's a very like controversial topic, and us being Hispanic, obviously we have our own biases.
Can I cut in?
No.
I don't think it's controversial.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's just a blatant abuse of human rights.
yeah.
It's just my opinion. You know, I'm an immigrant. I grew up here. I watched my
You're an
dad.
immigrant?
I'm not an immigrant. My dad's an immigrant. I grew up here. I watched my dad, or I heard my dad's stories of the times he'd come here to work. You know,
Yeah.
he didn't come here to
Yeah.
to what they say, soul rape, drugs, all that.
Yeah.
He came here to work, to start like a family, to you know genuinely experience that American dream.
Yeah, so like you have those stories that like they're looking like people are like getting deported even when they've been here such a long time. So it's just like the fact that like they could get deported even though they just come here to strictly work and like look for a better life.
They get picked up in the fields, like they're working,
Out of
they're
nowhere.
providing here. You know?
I mean, it happened in my hometown as ICE raids happened in your hometown.
Yeah, it's happened to my cousin. My cousin got deported.
Your cousin
yeah,
got-
all he
My
did is
uncle,
work.
Your
my
uncle.
uncle got deported. Okay, my uncle got a little track record, but you know.
My cousin did too. He's like a good person.
But I mean, it's still like at any moment, there's even people who are documented who get detained, get kidnapped. There's
Yeah,
anything
I'm
to
sorry.
say.
It's just
I'm sorry, like, actually,
No,
it's just a-
so, let me cut it in. So, you know, my dad, like I said, you know, the landscape business. Back when like they were like doing all the raids in like Bakersfield,
Yeah.
this summer I was working there.
Mhm.
I was working. We have spots in Bakersfield,
Mhm.
and then like I got stopped. I'm assuming it was ICE, you know,
Yeah.
on the marked truck.
What else
But
would they
like
stop?
they kind of like questioned me, you know, just like, oh, I'm just working, like this is my dad's business.
Yeah.
And then I, you know, luckily because like our property,
Mhm.
I was working towards the front.
Yeah.
I'll be blatantly honest, some of our employees are, you know,
Not documented.
not documented. And they were luckily towards the back. I spoke with a perfectly fluent English. I guess they just assumed it was fine and just left.
Yeah. That's
I'm assuming it was ICE. I'm hoping it, you know,
hoping
No,
maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong.
I think nowadays it's just based more on the basis of like
Racism. They
Racism.
target you based on where you're working and your color of skin and
yeah, because it's
What
like
they expect.
it seems like it's only based towards Hispanics.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing.
If
It's
I
like-
was working, I don't know, in something more
like in a retail store.
like in a retail store, if I was working like, hey, welcome to whatever, like, then compare that to me wearing like old jeans, worn down boots, landscaping shirt with the company symbol, and a dirty sweater, they're gonna question me because they expect me to be
Just racial profiling
Yeah.
at its finest.
racial.
So the boys here are already sweating, and now we are moving on to our final level, the Reaper level. I actually needed to sign a waiver for this, so Dave's Hot Chicken is not liable for injury and up to death.
What?
Yeah, it's on it saying if you die, Dave's Hot Chicken is not
You ain't tell us that.
It's 2 million swallow units. I got milk, ice cream bars for you guys to need it. And my final question is just any last words on the stigma or discrimination against immigrants? Feel free to take a bite. Oh my god. Yeah, I would. He says it's worse than lunch. This is worse than lunch. I'm not eating this. I've heard there's people that said it's worse than lunch. I'm saying, I'm telling you what's hot. Yeah, all right. Oh, come my boys. Set, if you guys go on. You get the whole thing. There's no way. How's it so far? You're making it. Oh shit. Alright, let's just get our final words in before you guys have to start. He's gonna start.
It's not that bad.
Honestly, it's not that. I could take another bite.
Take another bite.
Okay, no, it's actually going on right now.
Is it,
Oh, wait, never mind. Whoa.
is it getting worse?
Oh, it's burning my stomach. That's worse.
Any last words? You guys can say any 2 words.
Oh!
Puta madre.
That's my last word. So, I just think we gotta see each other as more human. You know?
Exactly.
You know, like, I'm kind of brown.
But you and I are no different.
But you're white.
Yeah.
And I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, man.
We're both experiencing life for the first time.
Exactly. And there's no, well, I'm a human, I'm not a more human being than you because I'm white. You're,
Dude, it's crazy by years.
So I feel like that's going to be it. I really hope whatever grade I get deserves, losing to this is just in case it didn't record. This is how the finals going.